degrees. We'll bring you up in two groups, guys, because there's not enough room for everybody to get in. So I'll go over it with them, and then we'll bring you guys up. 50 to 60 degrees hotter in the cab than whatever the outside air temperature is. So you get a nice July or August day where it's 95 out there. It's quite warm up here. Although it does have air conditioning, but it's considered, you know, from the 1900s, it's called 510. 4 windows, a vent, and 10 mile an hour. You understand why dogs are getting up. Now, this is our fireman's position. This is where he sits. You can see the boiler's pretty close. The Roy, the boiler is back about another foot. It's an older engine, so you have a lot more room. It's up to the fireman to build the fire. We judge his work by the gauge right there. That's the amount of pressure that we have out in the steam vent. That's our air pressure for the brakes. That's our speedometer over there. That box here is where the buzzes come from the switches on the back of the train. We have a box down there. I'll just make you aware of it, and then talk about it later. That's called MAPO or Mary. It's a safety device that I'll be talking about. Now, if you look here, this is called a sight glass. You can see the water is right there. You just look at it. That's how much water is in the boiler. Before we had sight glasses, we had this here called a tricox. We have 3 valves set at different levels. They would open the 3 valves. If we got steam out of here, the lowest valve, we were in trouble. We wanted water out of here. Here, water, steam wasn't that important. Here, we wanted steam. If we got water out of this one, the water was too high and becomes inefficient, like your steam kettle, your teapot at home. The more water you put in it, the longer it takes to boil. So now here, if we got water, steam out of here, it was too low. It's up to the fireman to keep the top of the firebox covered with water. That's what pulls the heat away from the firebox. Okay? If it's not covered with water, there's nothing to pull the heat away. It becomes red hot and white hot and then breaks apart, cracks up. If the fireman injects water at the wrong time, he can blow them up. Okay? Now, this is our fuel valve right here. This is in the air and the atomizer. Now, the very first thing we do when they come in and it's cold, we actually attach an air hose to the outside and use outside air to create a draft up the stack. So the smoke goes up the stack, everything comes back through the firebox. Now, this is the engineer's seat. These are the brakes. That's the Johnson bar. Forward goes forward, backward goes backwards. That's the steam cock over there. They open that to take the pressure off the Johnson bar. Disney does all its own training with trainers and all its own testing. Everybody has to go through 7 days. The last day is a written test and an operating test. You don't drive a train, you operate it because it's a piece of machinery. One of the things they do is called an emergency J-bar stop. They have to have an emergency way to stop the train. Most of our J-bar stops happen when some young mom comes up the exits with her stroller and goes through the gate and she's right out on the station. The train is not allowed to come in if we have someone on the station. That's considered a safety hazard. So they've got to stop the train. Emergency J-bar stop goes roughly like this. They throw the brakes on, knock the steam off. They kick that lever to release the pressure off the J-bar. Then they grab the J-bar, pull it into reverse, kick that back closed to build pressure up, and add a little bit of steam. That's an emergency J-bar stop. Now you can see the fire door is not covered. A couple years ago, one of the engineers brought in one of them thermal thermometers that you aim it at something that tells you how hot it is. Going around the track, it registered 1,200 degrees. Any questions? Okay. You guys can go on down. We'll bring the rest of them up. Come on up, guys. Can you come up, or do you want to just kind of stand there and listen?